Sup, Nerdmigos? I'm the Jive Talking Nerd, John Norgrove. We've got Wife here, and we're here for another review, Jive. It is the Tuesday following a pay-per-view for WWE, so that's what we're reviewing this time. So this last Sunday, was 2021's Royal Rumble.
Woo!
I don't know about that.
It's my favorite pay-per-view of the year.
I mean, we still have some pay-per-views to see how far...
I'm not saying this is the best
how high the highs can be, or how low the low can be.
Royal Rumble is my favorite themed pay-per-view of the year.
Oh, no, my favorite theme is TLC, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs.
That's definitely a fun one.
Yeah, I really want to see motherfuckers get put through tables, ladders, and or chairs, yeah. Yeah, regardless of the tables, ladders, and chairs shenanigan. So, anyway, this is Royal Rumble. We didn't watch a pre-show, and Julie missed a few of the starting matches, the two starting matches, or at least missed parts of them. But
I was making nacho cheese sauce. Very important things.
Yeah. Yeah, from scratch. Make nacho cheese from scratch. It's not that.
It's really
difficult,
not that hard,
it's
guys.
Way tastier.
Yeah.
The first was the Women's Tag Team Championship, which was Charlotte Flair and Asuka versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. And Jax and Baszler defeated Flair and Asuka by pinfall. Charlotte Flair got tripped up by Lacey Evans and then received the woman's right hand from Evans.
Yeah.
All loaded up with some brass knucks because her dad gave his new lady friend them. Listen, it's kind of gross.
It's very uncomfortable.
And it's not gross it's not okay for an old person to find love or whatever the fuck, right? It's just that the whole story is just kind of weird. And it's it feels kind of forced. You know, I would love to really know what Ric Flair and Charlotte Flair think about this vaguely absurd story.
Quite uncomfortable.
It's just a little disturbing.
But I mean, the way that Charlotte Flair is playing it off is probably even funnier.
Oh my
which
God.
is just the not again.
Well, it's been not again until the Monday Night Raw, which we don't need to get into because that's not the pay-per-view. But Monday Night Raw, Flair was just fucking done with this and just walked out silently from the ring, which is just perfect response.
Yeah.
100% deserved. But so yeah, that happened. I mean, I would like to say that it was a shake-up or something, but at this point in time, whatever. You know, whatever. Yeah, they're all better than this.
Yeah.
All four of these lady wrestlers are better than this storyline, and it's vaguely heartbreaking to see the storyline happening.
It sure
and then
is.
After that was Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg, and obviously McIntyre defeated Goldberg.
And I did see that match.
Yeah.
And that match was, well, let me preface this by saying I'm not a Goldberg fan, nor have I ever been a Goldberg fan. And his comments recently, so his history as a wrestler and his botchiness as a performer, in addition to the things that he said recently about the state of the current locker room versus when he was, regularly wrestling, really have put me in a mental place where I'm just go away, Goldberg. Yeah. So I spent most of the match screaming at the TV and telling Goldberg to.
I can vouch for that.
I was just fuck you, Goldberg.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I don't have this much animosity for the Berg, as it were.
He's great in that Christmas movie, but I do not like him.
He is great in that fucking Christmas movie, yeah.
But I don't like him as a wrestler, and I like
him as a mouthpiece, and I sort of like his character for being a bad guy.
No.
I mean, yes, he is he's fairly botchy, and he's one of those 5-minute wrestlers, where he's just starting to turn into a tomato.
Yeah.
Anything longer than that or whatever. But at the same, and what he said about the backstage stuff is fucking horseshit, dude. That's just old. That's just dumb old shit. Dude. Don't just start shit to start shit. And I mean, you know what? Maybe he believes this solely, and that's his whole ass right to believe it and whatnot. I think that McIntyre is certainly a better wrestler than this match.
By leaps
By
and
a
bounds.
lot. And I think that right now, I feel like WWE is bringing out of retirement a bunch of people instead of literally hiring a single writer who can think with his brain, as opposed to what I can only imagine is a corpse that has the word yes, Vince, just duct taped to it, and Vince walks in and is like, hey, oh, you already got the email. Cool, we're gonna run with that.
Yeah.
And then nobody knows what's happening and it's all a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
You know, because that's WWE right now. I don't know. It wasn't a great match.
It wasn't,
to be completely fair.
And I felt like it was Goldberg, I don't want to say actually trying to hurt McIntyre, because I don't know that Goldberg really has that kind of animosity or lack of professionalism.
It certainly felt like both men were fighting with a bit more than
it felt
acting.
like they were fighting more than actually acting.
And
the way
Goldberg
that the match
came out and said some shit, and McIntyre responded to that shit with a basically "shut the fuck up, old man" sort of a response. So I understand why both men, especially in something where you're kind of like heated and combative, will be trying to like get at each other a little bit more or
and
whatnot.
the ending of the match made for very interesting. I am glad that they shook each other's hands, but
not for nothing, Goldberg into that match respectfully.
Just as loud, I was cackling at Goldberg, not able to leave the ring without taking several breaks. Just as loud as I was screaming for him to fuck off during the match. Yeah. So I enjoyed that match thoroughly because of my all-consuming hate for Goldberg as a wrestler.
Yeah, I don't really have that much. I kind of like Goldberg as a person outside of the ring. So
I mean, outside the ring,
I like his. Doesn't he have that show? That interview show? Isn't that Goldberg?
No, that's Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I am incredibly sad that
what am I thinking of that we recently saw that has Goldberg in it? That was on like cable television.
We were watching Christmas movies.
Nah, maybe it was just the Christmas movies that are confusing me.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
God, we almost got a divorce just now.
Oh, old white people are old white people.
Oh, jeez.
Fucking who cares? Whatever. It's all me.
May the almighty Gorilla Monsoon strike ye down!
I'll take that. I'll take that, yeah. Whatever. Dude, whatever. This is the thing, especially after Monday Night Raw, it's a new thing every single Monday after Raw. So at this point in time, I'm not certain who's in what. We've started like 5 shows that way, and then are like, oh, that airs on Tuesday somewhere else? I don't fucking care. I have no clue who's in anything. It took me like an hour earlier today to remember the actor that was in that Alien show we watched last night afterwards. I was just like, who's that actor? I really like him. And I'm like going through actors, and I was like, wait a minute, is it a British actor? Am I freaking out right now? It's Alan Tudyk, by the way. But still, also that show looks amazing. But still, I was just like, who the fuck was in the end of that? I totally forgot. There's something about like post Raw TV series where my brain is just like, whatever. It's just
Raw.
people.
It's just post wrestling. They
That's
put a
fair.
lot of stuff in front to try and like capture that viewership. But like, guys, all we really want
Not post
is more
AEW.
wrestling.
Post AEW's the same thing.
Post AEW.
It's just a replay of the new shit that came out on Friday that they know nobody's gonna watch.
Or it's movies.
Yeah, sometimes it is movies. Yeah, I watched Kong Skull Island that one time afterwards. Yeah, it's a good movie.
So what was the next match?
Yeah, so, there's only 4 matches tonight. So the next match was oh, no, there was one more match. I lie. It's Sasha Banks and Carmella. Which was actually a pretty good match.
I was making
you were making nacho cheese then. Yeah, that was actually a pretty good match. Banks defeats Carmella via submission to retain the title.
I'm really enjoying their feud.
I like it. Yeah. I super love Sasha Banks. Yeah, and honestly, I kind of super love Carmella also. They're both doing really good.
I have always stand for Carmella. I dig it. I like her sommelier
I especially love her sommelier. Let me tell you what. Fucking full aside, the sommelier Sasha Banks match was a fucking gem. Just WWE. Hey, just like do more of that shit.
Yeah.
Get your fucking life together.
It's so rare
so
that
good.
we get a co-ed match.
Yeah, mixed gender matches are rare.
A mixed gender match,
Yeah.
and it's even more rare when that match is well done. And this was a 1v1 mixed gender match, and this was amazing.
Yeah,
I would love
you never
to see
really
more
felt
of that.
it was a little high production. It was a little like meh, but it was still a good match.
Yeah, it definitely was. Yeah.
But okay, so after that is the Women's Rumble.
Yeah. And the Women's Royal Rumble was fantastic.
It was super good. So this is what I'm gonna do.
It was so good.
Bianca Belair won. She came out third.
Which is the
found out it's the earliest
entrant.
an entrant a woman has ever come out and won, which is awesome. Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair fucking fully deserves this. She is so badass. Bianca Belair might be my favorite female wrestler right now.
She is.
I'm starting to like her more than Asuka, and I'm starting to like her more than like Nikki, and I'm starting to like her. Yeah, I think she might be like my favorite right now. She's just really physical, and she's like a high flyer, and she's like super sassy, and I love her whole like bit.
Yeah, it feels like she's revolutionizing the women's wrestling division.
She's certainly making
in a way
it more
that Lita did when she came on the scene, which I know you weren't watching then, but when Lita first came out on the scene in the women's wrestling thing, she revolutionized the women's division, and I feel like Bianca Belair is going to do the same thing because she's really making it okay to be a strong woman and not necessarily just an eyepiece.
Yeah.
So it's very exciting. I'm so happy for Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
Like, it gives me goosebumps. I am sad that Rhea Ripley didn't win, but I wouldn't.
She was second, so
yeah, but she
it's
was
fair.
second.
Yeah.
And Charlotte Flair actually put up a really good match as well.
Yeah, and Flair was third,
Yeah.
and Flair got 4 people out if I'm reading this breakdown correctly. Yeah, they're listing this in a very stupid way. So, but I believe Flair got 4 people out, including Ripley.
Maybe.
No. I'm sorry. Belair got 4 people out. Flair got maybe no people out actually.
So, what was your Women's Rumble best bit?
Best bit for the Women's Rumble was. Ooh, I mean, honestly, it's just Bianca Belair winning, and like we had hoped going into it that she was gonna win, but like it's WWE.
My
Literally
best bit
card subject to change, motherfucker.
is when Belair and Naomi were both out and they had to try to get back in without getting on their feet.
No,
let
me take that back. The best bit was when Naomi went out and is just like turtling on the ground and is like scoot. All right, I'm getting back in, and I'm just like, well, I mean, I guess technically her feet didn't hit the ground. Normally, you like jump to a thing and run around or some shit like that, but like that's also smart. So no, that was good. It was a good match. I really liked the Women's Rumble.
I think the Women's Rumble was better than the Men's Rumble this year.
Certainly.
Especially when it came down to shenanigans.
Yes, certainly it was better. And then of course after that was the Men's Royal Rumble. First entrants were Edge, Orton, Zayn, Ali, and Hardy. Randy Orton went out with a bum knee. And then Randy Orton came back at the very end. This is what I'm going to say. I hate Randy Orton with a fiery passion that consumes my soul. He's a bad wrestler. He's bad on the mic. He looks like a silly child. And all of the bits are, I'm just assuming because he's like secretly dating the boss?
Or something.
Yeah. It's absurd. Like, I'm sorry. He was able to just get out because of an injury and then come back in and fucking be a piece of shit. Like, I fucking hate it. I hate the fact that his whole bit has been like beating up old people,
and cheating,
but then also beating up strong people, but then also cheating, but then also
lighting people on fire,
but then also
gouging out people's eyes. Guys, what is going on with the Randy Orton storyline?
Yeah, Randy Orton's not that good. Stop doing that with him. Do that with somebody that's good.
Yeah.
Do that with Edge. Shit. You know what you do? You just take Randy Orton, you just dig a hole, you put him in that hole, you bury that hole. Randy Orton's a corpse. And then you just do all of the Randy Orton things with Edge. I fully support that move.
Yeah.
Just replace Randy Orton with Edge. It makes exactly as much sense because there's no character. Randy Orton isn't a person. He's not like, it's not like he's a heel, so that's why we hate him. It's like, I hate him for 100% of what he is.
Yeah.
Which is a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
There's something about, and it's not just the way they write about him, but it's like the way that he's like this weird untouchable golden boy in WWE right now, but he's like not good enough to deserve that. Like maybe back in the DZ, he was like gangster or whatever, but like he's kind of shit, you know. And the RKO out of nowhere is literally always out of where we fucking see it happening.
Yeah.
Dude, the frequency with which I watch some shit, and I'm just like, an RKO is gonna be right there.
Yeah, it's definitely, there was a time.
And then the guys are just like, that shit came out of nowhere. And I'm like, that nigga was standing there for like 5 whole ass minutes. That didn't come out of nowhere. That was planned. People had emails about that shit. That shit came out of precisely where they intended it to come out of. It was weak. That's weak shit, Randy Orton. Run a little faster, come out of the fucking shadows like a goddamn adult.
I mean, there was a time when the RKOs came out.
Yeah, and I respect that shit. That was fun. That is not now.
So, I mean, Edge did a great job.
Edge was awesome.
I love Edge. I am actually disappointed that they're giving Edge the Royal Rumble winner. Not because he hasn't been through a lot or anything like that, but I feel like they just brought Edge out of retirement because they're bringing a lot of older wrestlers out of retirement.
They're running out of stuff to write about.
They're running out of stuff to write about, and they're afraid of what the other wrestling promotions, like AEW primarily, but also TNA, are doing. And I think that they're trying. To me, it looks like they're writing the same storylines that they did when the Monday Night Wars were starting to happen, and I am all for the Monday Night Wars. Only I guess it's maybe Wednesdays now because AEW is on TV.
I mean, listen,
at the same time as
wrestling.
NXT,
it's just the wrestling wars
like,
because AEW is better than both Monday and Friday night combined, right?
Well,
and it's not saying that I don't deeply love a lot of the wrestlers in WWE, but the stories are constantly changing. There's not a lot of consistency.
Or
it appears that they don't know what to do, or what they do is they do a story, and then that guy just doesn't exist for like 6 whole months.
Yeah.
And then he comes back, and guess what? He's doing a different thing.
Yeah, I would have much rather
had
seen somebody who's been there for a while and putting in their time and doing their work and working those mid-card matches to win. And that's really where I stand. I like
does
Edge.
Edge deserve it? Certainly.
Is he the caliber to do it?
Wrestler?
Absolutely.
Certainly. Of course.
But did I want to see Edge win? Actually, no.
Yeah, no.
I would have rather seen somebody else win. I would have rather seen Big E win.
Big E.
That would have been a fantastic push.
So good right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, honestly, Big E might be my favorite in the men's. I mean, I love Drew McIntyre deeply, but I don't know, man. Big E or who's the other guy? The guy who speaks very elegantly.
I don't know.
He's the bigger guy. He had beef with McIntyre for like a minute, and then he had like beef with McIntyre for like a minute, and that shit just I guess got forgotten.
Oh my god,
Keith Lee was Lee even in the Rumble?
He was not.
He was not. Yeah.
Rumble.
That's horse shit.
I mean, there's a lot of really good people in the men's.
Fire Matt Riddle out of a cannon into a fucking wall and put Keith Lee in.
I would have much rather seen Big E win or somebody else. You know,
we did have some returns though. Cesaro.
We did have some cool returns.
Rollins,
not Cesaro.
Strowman. Yeah, I'm sorry. Carlito, which is very exciting. I was just thinking it's because Cesaro's contract is up at the his contract's up at the
after WrestleMania.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's almost up. So we'll see where that's gonna go.
I mean, expect to see a Cesaro push that if he ends up signing a contract, he'll just eventually disappear. Much like the same thing they've done to lots of other wrestlers. So we'll know if Cesaro re-signs his contract. So what was your men's Royal Rumble best bit?
Ooh, that's difficult. Tell me yours while I think.
So I want to say my men's Royal Rumble best bit is Kofi Kingston Royal Rumble shenanigery, because that's his like signature thing at the Royal Rumble. But he was not in this Royal Rumble, alas.
Yeah.
And
well, he's still unable to wrestle, right? Because of his injury.
That is correct.
He's still unable.
So I mean, really, I'm gonna have to say my Royal Rumble best bit is actually Carlito coming back. Although the shenanigery is definitely usually my favorite bits. The shenanigery happened this time with AJ Styles. And I'm also not an AJ Styles fan. I don't hate him as much as Goldberg, but like not by much. So
yeah, I hate AJ Styles. I love his tall man.
His bodyguard.
His bodyguard. Yeah, I don't fucking know.
He's pretty dope.
Yeah, he's dope. Yeah. He's awesome. He should be doing stories. AJ Styles can be the mouthpiece.
So I mean, really, like my Royal Rumble best bit is Carlito coming back, but also like seeing the wrestlers that I haven't been able to really see on TV recently.
Yeah.
Like the really good, solid guys. Like, where has King Corbin been?
Yeah,
I love
Corbin's
him.
such a
He's a great wrestler. What about Ricochet? Ricochet is the new Shawn Michaels.
If WWE gives him the chance, most assuredly.
Watching Dolph Ziggler,
Ricochet,
watching The Miz. Yeah.
Ziggler, I love Ziggler. I always love Ziggler. I always love The Miz. You know what? I feel like as a general rule, my favorite part was, as a general thought, I think my favorite part was probably whenever Big E was getting into stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, the best part of the men's match was when, like, people started counting down and the camera started pulling back from the ring, and like the guys that you were seeing, like, they're doing their thing still, and they're center of the ring, and then the guys in the background of the ring are just
like
they're doing these like wide chops like this. They're just like, look how much I'm hurting her. Abuse. And you're like, dog, that dude's like 4 feet away from me. What are you doing? Don't wide camera angle that shit. Rumbles don't benefit from wide camera angles.
Those are always great bits. When you
those are probably the best bits. Just laying there. At one point in time, one of the guys like stomped near a guy, and then he just rolled all the way across the ring. Yeah, and then he got like some nonsense over there, and then he just rolled all the way over here on the ring. And you're like, yeah, man, just punching clocks. Also, it really felt like, for both of these, but I think more so for the men's, it really felt like they were like keeping people in for really long. Yeah. It felt so crowded, and everybody didn't seem to really get as much as they should have. And like it felt like they were like, well, we don't want to kick somebody out too early, because then like what if that's one of some fans' favorite, and then it looks like we're not, and it's like, yeah, I get that you need to like make the audience happy or whatever, but you're clearly not doing that with like stories, or
so why do you care?
Or treating your employees
it felt like they were
respectfully
allowing the people who they wanted to be showcased to be showcased,
like hyper showcased. Yeah. But no, I think probably my best bit was for the Rumble was probably Big E. He's fantastic. He's so strong. He's so good at what he does. He's so precise, and he can really fly and move, even though he's a big guy. Like, Big E should be a fucking champion, 100%. He's so fucking good. Now, like, give McIntyre a challenger who can really put the stress on McIntyre. You know, like, make it.
Keith Lee, make it.
And Keith Lee did it, and then they just dropped that shit, which is absurd. Keith Lee's the fucking best. I love Keith Lee. But, whatever. I don't know. But, that was
the Royal Rumble
for
and
2021.
associated rants.
Yeah, I feel like it was an okay Rumble. We'll see what the next pay-per-view does. You know, we watched the Raw afterwards, which is like 50% recap. And, you know, we'll watch SmackDown on Friday.
Probably.
Maybe. We'll see. But, let us know what you thought. If you don't watch wrestling, tell us below why we're wrong. I'm more than willing to argue with you. Or not. It depends on how lazy I want to be. So, it actually doesn't matter. Nothing does. It's cool. Nihilism. Bam. But, either way, I have been John Norgrove. This has been Life. This is Review Jive. We watched the 2021 Royal Rumble pay-per-view from WWE. It was a thing that existed. And, we will catch you guys next time. Yeah.